From the cutting edge of anomaly research, you are about to experience The Evidence with your host, 3D pioneer and image analyst with Mars X3D, D.W. Gannett.
Well, hi there, and welcome to this edition of The Evidence. This is your buddy Dave over at Mars X3D, and we have some very interesting finds this week by some of the top-ranked anomalists in the world. Neville Thompson, Neal Spence, and I even threw a couple of my own in there just so I'd be with good company. But, this is an X3D Stereos channel. That means you need to learn X3D to view it in 3D. It's super easy. It's down below. Just follow the link. And there are other links down there, too, that'll give you all the information that you need, including original links to all the images used in this episode, so you can see for yourself what they actually look like to the average person. But, hey, enough of that talk. Let's dive in. And, you know what? If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you see something you like, hit that like button, too. That helps me out a lot. Lets me know I need to stay on the air. So, let's dive in, see what we have this week.
Nev's Gigapan of 1077 has something for everyone in it, and he manages to find some pretty interesting things, especially as he spends so much time up to his eyeballs putting together one of his outstanding Gigapans. Here's one he pointed out down there in the left corner. This one would be easy to overlook if you didn't have eyes like he does. This whole chunk of rock, if that's what it is pretty strange, but it's that part inside the yellow square that got my attention. Of course, this just might be strange erosion, but notice how all the figures are the same width and seem to incorporate shapes that might be letters or signage of some kind. What's more, the shapes themselves seem to reflect the light like metal does. They look like they could be made of brass or gold. I like how the piece is attached to seems to be a nice, clean rectangle sneaking away underneath the sand. Moving in really tight, we can see even more details of shapes half hidden in the shadows. My imagination wants to call these a code of some kind, rather like the code of Hammurabi, engraved on a 7.5-foot stele some 4,000 years ago. They detailed laws and punishments in ancient Babylon. And of course, this is nowhere near as complex as that, but it still gives me the unfounded impression that these symbols are an edict or a code. Go ahead and color me irresponsible. Here's something I ran across the other day while I was checking out a find by Neal Spence. This is Nev's Gigamacro of 2606. And by the way, if you're not familiar with the Gigamacro website, it's a fantastic menu for Mars images, and the best part is their website actually works. The Gigapan website is still good, but their servers are heading south to the point where you can't even log on to it sometimes, and when you take a snapshot, it might or it might not be there when you come back. No such problems with Gigamacro. And there it sits, a piece with definite mechanistic tendencies. The shape, the various protrusions, the symmetry, all leave the impression that this is not natural. If you were watching a recent episode, I shared an anomaly a lot like this that I mistakenly attributed to Dean Sattler. It was actually Thomas Smosny who pointed it out, so sorry about that, Tom. I'll alternate between the two so you can check them both out, but you can see the similarities, right? It's one thing to find strange items on Mars, and quite another to find more than one that seems to be the same. Anyway, in this same GMAC, Neal Spence picked out this next item way off on the ridgeline. If you're a newbie, you'll want to visit the thousands of images available to the public and go over them with a fine-tooth comb at high mag. It can sometimes take hours to do a thorough search this way, but it is worth it. Now, to me, this is flat out amazing. The main piece back there looks an awful lot like a broken, corroded machine with all its pipes and wheels. Then there's that wheel on the top left, shining metallically in the sun. See how it has an inner hub and a center point? Amazing how the wind and sand pull that off, isn't it? The piece near the center of the image seems to have a golden wheel in the center, and the piece on the right has its own strangeness issues as well. By the way, lately Neal has been turning out some truly spectacular Gmacs. Check his link below for his Facebook group, Paradigm Shift, where you can find all his latest work. Speaking of Neal's Gmacs, his rendering of 2617 is just gorgeous. And not only that, but he pointed out an amazing find, which in my opinion will soon enter the sacred halls of classic finds. It's inside the yellow target, so let's go take a closer look. Can you see the eye inside the triangle? Look how the rock is fresh and raw looking, while the rest of the outcrop has that dark desert patina. That makes me think this is a fairly recent carving, if indeed that's what it is. This is the classic all-seeing eye, so well known from our own esoteric traditions, and this find by Neal Spence is one more link tying the ancient Egyptian culture to Mars. We have the pyramids, the statues, and the various carvings like this one that point to that great civilization, only they're here on Mars. And just a reminder that Cairo in the Coptic language means place of Mars. Strange coincidence, wouldn't you say? Of course, I like what the rabbis say, that the word coincidence is not kosher. In this final close-up, see how the pupil seems quite deep going into the rock? The smaller triangle over the pupil appears to have a center point, while the right side of the triangle seems to taper exactly like the Eye of Horus. There appear to be vertical lines of figures just below the triangle. Could they be hieroglyphics? You know, one clean, razor-sharp image would clear things up right away. If it's not a natural formation, then it's a purposeful attempt at conveying information, which is precisely why we won't be seeing any high-res images of this one anytime soon. Hey, thanks for stopping by today. You know, we have all kinds of links down below that'll show you pictures, that'll put you in contact with some great researchers. You can email me if you have an anomaly you'd like me to take a look at. All kinds of stuff there. And remember, hit that like button for me, would you? I sure appreciate it. This is your buddy Dave, over at Mars X3D. Be well.